The psychology of female loneliness. There is something very strange happening. Female loneliness is slowly becoming a silent crisis. In the United States, research shows that nearly 1 in 3 women between the ages of 18 and 35 report experiencing chronic loneliness. But the important point is that this loneliness is not always easy to see. They still go to work. They still attend every birthday dinner. They still laugh, respond to every message, and show up in front of other people as if everything is fine. So what is really going on? How can millions of women feel lonely in a time when connection is just one tap away? Today, let us explore the psychology behind female loneliness. If you are a woman, you may see a part of yourself in this video. And if you are not, think about the women around you, your mother, your sister, your partner, your friend. Whether you are looking for answers for yourself or want to become a stronger support for the people you love, stay with me until the end of this video. To understand why so many women feel alone, we first need to look at the way we usually see this problem. Female loneliness is rarely loud. It does not look like sitting alone in a dark room with nobody to call. It hides quietly behind a full social calendar, a phone full of unread messages, and a woman who appears, by every external measure, to be deeply connected. To see what is really happening inside, we need to slowly break down the psychological conflicts that have formed over time. When we talk about loneliness, psychology research has shown a major difference in how men and women experience it. According to research published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, when men feel lonely, they most commonly connect that feeling to a lack of community, a group, a brotherhood, a place to belong. But for women, loneliness takes a different shape entirely. Women feel most lonely not when they lack social contact, but when they lack genuine depth of connection. A woman can be surrounded by people every single day, co-workers, friends, a loving partner, and still feel completely unseen if none of those relationships reach the level of true understanding she needs. The biggest paradox lies here. 2 women can talk for hours. They can share news, compare experiences, plan events, and leave the conversation feeling warm and connected. But warmth and connection are not the same thing. Real friendship, the kind that actually pulls a woman out of loneliness, begins at a deeper place. It begins when one person trusts the other enough to say, "I am not okay. I am scared. I do not know who I am becoming." But for women, getting to that place has its own invisible barriers. And those barriers are far less discussed than people think. Since they were little girls, women have been shaped by a very specific social expectation. Being a good woman means being emotionally available, keeping relationships smooth, being the one who holds everything together, and never being too much of a burden to the people around her. Women learn early that their emotional needs should be managed carefully, that asking for too much is selfish, that being the one who needs is somehow a failure of the relational role they were born to fulfill. This creates a very specific psychological trap. To feel less lonely, a woman needs to be genuinely known by someone. To be genuinely known, she needs to show the parts of herself she usually hides. But to maintain the image of someone who has it together, she has learned to hide exactly those parts. So she performs connection instead of experiencing it. She is present in the room but absent from the conversation. And the loneliness deepens, not despite her social life, but inside it. Female isolation is often not a choice. It is the result of 2 main barriers that have built up quietly over time. Barrier 1. The loss of everyday proximity. Most women find it easiest to form close friendships during school years. The environment creates daily proximity, the same classrooms, the same hallways, the same routines. Friendship does not require effort because it is built into the structure of the day. But the turning point comes when adulthood begins. There is no clear moment when the friendships end. The messages just become less frequent. Plans get postponed. Everyone becomes busier. One person gets married. One person has children. One person moves to another city for work. And one day she realizes she still has many names in her contacts. But when life becomes genuinely difficult, she does not know who to call, not because those people do not care, but because the everyday proximity that once made closeness feel natural has quietly disappeared. Proximity is not just convenient for female friendship, it is neurologically essential. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar has noted that the dense, overlapping female social structures of earlier generations, shared households, neighboring families, communal domestic work, were not just emotionally supportive. They were biologically regulating. The simple daily presence of familiar female company activated the parasympathetic nervous system and reduced cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. Modern life has systematically dismantled those structures, and nothing has replaced them. Barrier 2. The performance of emotional strength. There is a quiet expectation placed on women that is almost never spoken out loud but is felt everywhere. You are the strong one. You are the one who holds other people together. You are the one other people bring their problems to. You are the one who listens, supports, and manages. And so women become extraordinarily skilled at holding space for everyone else's pain while quietly containing their own. Research by sociologist Arlie Hochschild on what she called emotional labor, the invisible work of managing one's own emotions to fulfill social expectations, found that women perform significantly more emotional labor than men in both professional and personal relationships. They monitor their tone more carefully. They manage conflict more actively. They suppress their own emotional reactions more consistently to maintain relational harmony. The problem is that emotional labor, like any other labor, creates fatigue. And a woman who is chronically giving emotional support while receiving very little in return does not just become tired, she becomes invisible to herself. She stops knowing what she actually feels because she has been managing the feelings of everyone around her for so long that her own inner life has been left unattended. And this is where the loneliness becomes most profound. Not the loneliness of having no one, the loneliness of having lost contact with yourself. We are living in a time when digital connection has created the appearance of intimacy while delivering almost none of its substance. A woman today can receive dozens of messages in a day, maintain active friendships across multiple platforms, and still feel more disconnected than her grandmother did with far fewer relationships, because her grandmother's relationships were built on physical presence, recurring proximity, and the kind of ambient daily closeness that no screen has ever been able to replicate. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone that creates the felt sense of genuine social safety, is released through eye contact, shared laughter, physical touch, and sustained physical presence. It cannot be triggered by a notification. It cannot be built through a voice note. The nervous system is not sentimental about this. It requires what it requires. And what it requires is a kind of presence that modern life has made genuinely difficult to maintain. Not only that, social media constantly presents images of other women who appear more connected, more loved, more surrounded, more chosen. Instead of easing the loneliness, the digital world quietly reinforces it. Every perfectly captioned photo of a group dinner is another reminder of what is missing. Every engagement announcement is another data point in a comparison that has no winning condition. At this point, you may recognize yourself more clearly, or you may recognize the women around you more clearly. But recognizing loneliness is only the first step. How does a woman begin to step out of the pattern she has been living inside? Instead of empty advice like just be more open or put yourself out there, here are 5 specific steps that research supports. Step 1. Prioritize side-by-side activity. Depth of female connection does not always require direct emotional disclosure. Research shows that women also bond effectively through shared activity, doing something together without the pressure of sustained emotional conversation. A walk, a class, a project. Something with a third focus that allows closeness to build naturally without the performance of intimacy that can feel exhausting when loneliness is already present. Step 2. Create recurring contact rather than special occasions. Women who report the highest levels of genuine connection are not those who have the most social events in their lives. They are those who have regular, recurring contact with a small number of people, not planned dinners, not occasional catch-ups. The same person, consistently, over time, a weekly walk, a standing call, a neighbor seen every morning, small rituals of consistent presence that allow familiarity to deepen slowly into genuine knowing. Step 3. Take back the initiative. Waiting to be invited is a passive position that loneliness makes more comfortable than it should be. Many women are sitting in their own version of loneliness on a Saturday evening, looking at their phones, assuming nobody is thinking of them, while other women are doing exactly the same thing. The invitation has to come from somewhere. Train yourself to send it first. Low stakes and simple. A message is enough. Come over. Let us walk. Want to grab coffee this week? Prepare for rejection without taking it personally. People are busy, not indifferent. The willingness to initiate is how you begin to take ownership of your own social life. Step 4. Allow small imperfection to show. The biggest barrier to depth in female friendship is not lack of time. It is the performance of having everything under control. Deep friendship does not begin with tearful confession. It begins with very small cracks in the surface. Instead of saying everything is fine, taking a breath and saying this week has been genuinely hard. Instead of performing strength, saying I actually do not know what to do about this. I could use another perspective. When you allow a small imperfection to show, you send a signal, I trust you enough to let you see an unfinished part of me. And when you do that, the other person feels safe enough to take off their own mask in return. Step 5. Separate your worthiness from your productivity. Many women wait until they feel they have enough to offer before they invest in connection. Until the house is organized. Until work is less stressful. Until they feel like a better version of themselves. But genuine friendship is not built on having everything together. It is built on showing up as you actually are. Research consistently shows that the relationships women find most sustaining are not the ones built in their best moments. They are the ones that were present in their worst ones. Do not wait to be worthy of connection. You already are. In the end, perhaps no one truly wants loneliness. The barriers that make women hesitate to reach out are often just habits learned from an environment that rewarded performance over presence, and strength over honesty. But just like any other habit, new ones can be learned. Sometimes strength does not mean holding everything together alone. Sometimes it simply means having the courage to let one person see that you are not. Change can begin with very small things. A message, an honest sentence, simply allowing yourself to need something without immediately apologizing for it. If this video helped you see your own experience more clearly, or understand the women you love more deeply, share your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to Unmasked Psychology for more videos that unmask the hidden patterns behind human behavior. See through every mask. Thanks for watching.